Shalom, family. Glory be to God, and blessed be the Lamb. And I'm going to try to do these at least once a morning earlier, no doubt, so I won't interrupt others. But we live in a mean world, a world of light and a world of darkness, a world of light and a world of darkness. What is light? You ever just thought about it? Like when you pop on a flashlight in the blackness or the dark, where does the light go? Is the light moving? And where does the darkness go in the presence of the light? Is the light being illuminated, as you would say, or is the darkness moving away from the glare of the light? Which is true? Which is true? It has to be one or the other. It cannot be both. Interesting, isn't it? So it is the quality of man's life. He can't figure it out. He never has. This dichotomy of light and dark has confused him. The dark is easy. The dark is fleshly. The dark never resists. The dark will always agree with whatever thought comes into his mind. Devil be damned. That's just a fact. It's easier to sin than it is to do good, especially in a world of bad. It just is. Doing bad things gets you places. And sometimes the more bad things that you're willing to do, the further up the ladder you can move. But at the end of the day, everything is lost. It is all lost in man's pitiful lifespan of 75 to 80 years. A lucky few can make it beyond that. But trust me, it's a lucky few. He makes the decision after decision after decision after decision, none of which will actually advance him in the end. He seems to make decisions for his body, not himself. Seemingly. Never understanding that you are not your body, and at the end of the day, you will be you. There is no way out of it, and you at your essence is spirit. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. That's the life. That's the spark. That's the consciousness. That's the good stuff. Everything else falls away as it was meant to do. Period. Full stop. You know, the first time I could, anyway, I'm not going into that. There's a lot to be done here. A lot to be done here. You know, I am God. I am glad that God shows me patience because he knows, how I'm built. Because some things are just beyond my understanding, like his mercy. I've said before. God seems to have an endless pool of mercy. I've talked to him once before, and we have our understanding. And as with anything else, it usually comes to you will come around. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to come around. I said that you've been too merciful. You have given them time after time after time and chance after chance after chance. Can we just smash them now and be done with this? And they'll go dig the Antichrist out from whatever cranny he's hiding in. We just split hell wide open. But, however, like I said, I usually come around. I just have to wait. I have to start to do the history, the deep history, on not just mankind, but the history of the spiritual world, the formation of the demonic world, the understandings of things beyond your understandings. And I really want to understand these things. It's not for you. you as the human. Man, every word seems offensive. I call you human, and that seems offensive. I call you species, and that sounds offensive also, even unto my own ears. But at the same time, I do these things to make you understand that I am not you. We must have this separation. I must remain close enough to you to understand you. How can I put this? I must remain close enough to you to lead you and to, no, wrong choice of words again. I must be close enough to you to understand you, but far enough from you to lead you. You get it? We can't be all equal in this fracas, this fray that's made up of increasingly, I mean, it's moving at breakneck speed, people. I mean, it's moving at breakneck speed. This is going somewhere. And the sad thing is, I mean, you would think that we had a lot of years. Man, I can't make no dishonest statement. Damn it. It's not meant to be dishonest. It's meant to be straight, but I'm thinking on two levels here. On the spiritual level, it would be 80% true. But on the physical level, 100% true. And somewhere in there, there's a lie, but there's balance. Okay? There's a lie, but there's always balance. And it's hard to find sometimes. So I have to catch myself. Anyway, as time goes on, things are going to get worse and worse and worse. And like I told you yesterday, that there are things living amongst you that are simply not you. We have to come to grips with this. I mean, it's the only way that we can move forward. Whoever we is, I mean, God and His mercy again. I mean, do you know? I'm gonna show you how deep it is. I know how the demons became demons. They were once a race, a proud race of people, and when shit went sideways, they went to tripping, to worshiping other gods, and then they met the devil, and then they still lost out. And can you imagine a race of people that man, they resented and blamed everything around them, and everything happened. I mean, on everything happening to them. You get what I'm saying? Over decade after decade, generation after generation after generation, they died all in short order, if you know what I mean, in short order. And they died hateful, angry, and they became the demonic race. But when I looked at it, I first I seen the pathetic nature of them, but then I started to pity them. I started to pity their offspring, because the offspring of each parent just carried the flag of the parents before them. They were never truly themselves. They were never, ever truly them. They never had a chance. The demons had taken them over so quick it could make your head swim, because they were already primed for it by the flesh, by their own teachings, and by their own understandings of life. Already primed for it. This is the reality. And they died angry, hateful. They became the demons. Now they run their ass around believing that they're really demons. No, you just fucking dead angry with people that paint yourself up to be pretty. I've met them. I mean, I met one. And I made a mockery of them. I mean, I should have been scared, but they anyway. A long story short, we ended up in battle because he made a faux pas. You don't ever get to look at me, ever. And that was his mistake. And I chased his ass through the spiritual world, chased him some more through the spiritual world. I had the motherfucker. Anyway, I'm going to stop because it's a digression. Check the audios. But anyway, Anyway, mercy, God's mercy. While I don't understand it, I didn't create it. I don't understand the ratio. I mean, is it 2 cups of mercy to 1 gallon of human behavior or a teaspoon of mercy? I mean, I'm confused about all of this. And so, at once before, as I said, I went to God and I asked Him because He had stepped in my way one too many times. No, I'm just kidding. He stopped me. But, and like I said to Him, why do you care what we do to them? I know that you see what we see. Man, I sounded just like the angels of old. We know, you already know what I'm finna say. You see what I see, you hear what I hear, and you know my heart, yet I feel inclined to use human verbiage to say these things. But eventually I came around, as usual. As usual. I guess I can think of it as growth, but I really don't want to think of it as growth. But that's too much about me. I want to think of it as something else. Let's finish this off about talking about you. Where are you going with this? I mean, I got that question for everybody. Where demons? Where you going with all of this? Because you know everything, and you know the end. You also know there is no way out of the end. Whew. At some point, you got to make a decision here. I mean, it just is. I mean, nowhere in the Bible does it say that I could kill demons. That's just something that I felt the inclination and the inducement because you harm others over and over and over and over, and you confuse them. I mean, you use spiritual takeovers that only someone with a trained eye would recognize. Sometimes they can start with the twitch of a hand, just the twitch of a hand. And we know this, and we see this, and we see this. However, we know how this is going to end. And to the spiritual world, we also who fear the demons. The spirits feared the demons. The demons controlled the spirits, and the demons are influenced, controlled by the devil. Influence. Stop it. Stop it. You're a slave. You're a slave. And you are a slave following something that was kicked out of his house. I mean, kicked out, cast down, followed to where he fell at, got his ass whooped, chained, beat until he screamed, Father. This is what you follow. I'm sorry, Mr. Devil. I don't mean to asperse you, but the truth must be told here. It must be told because I'm going somewhere with this whole missive here this morning, of which I only have 17 minutes left. And I'll not waste it aspersing Satan. He already knows our end. We simply have a business. He doesn't see it that way. You have to understand Satan. You see, people fight for many causes. Things fight for many causes. All things fight. Well, I have even seen 2 little sparrows get down from what they believe in. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen squirrels fight, rabbits fight, roosters fight, bears fight. Everything fights. Everything fights. I don't know what the hell that is, but hell got to stop that shit. But everything fights. Listen, if you ain't fighting him to eat him, would you just stop fighting then? You're not laying teeth in his ass for the pure flavor of the situation. Then stop fighting. Damn, this is easy enough. Are you hungry? Then fight. You, sir, he wants to eat. You fight. But that's not what it is. In human nature, there's a myriad number of reasons that they fight. I won't even go into it because they fight over everything. Everything. Violence is the name of the day in America and all over the world, but I'm in America where I watch the news. I try not to, but every now and then I am watching. And you are killing the living shit out of each other on what would otherwise in any other generations would be seen as an alarming rate. An alarming rate. And as with everything else, there's different levels to this. There's different levels, man. And and like I said, a lot of it isn't even of man. So even at this point, I'm talking to a population that's made up of some believers, others are non-believers out of hate. And that's just got to be just straight hating. Not the real kind of hate, but the kind of envious slash hate that my God didn't show up and I believed for so long. And then Mammy Papa them, they believe. And now it turns out, well, now you just plain hating and mad. It ain't even real hate. Sit down and think about the situation and work it out in your own head. The truth is the truth is the truth, and there ain't no other God other coming. I'm telling you this now. We only waiting on the Antichrist that I've gotten as close to. His last name is Levi, Levi. So we'll be looking for Mr. Levy or Mr. Levi in the future here. Hopefully, the near future. That's what the mother folks is trying to bring forth. You will know when he arrives, and we will deal with him in short order. But this is what makes the devil. I'm skipping around. I know we're going to leave Mr. Levy alone. I won't call his first name. We don't want to excite them people. They are excitable. Believe me, it's like striking a harness nest. Oh, he knows. Yeah, we know. I told you we was looking. We investigating, and now we at the nigga's name. Boy, we looked under every rock, too. Every rock. And now we know his name. We shall be waiting on him. Everybody else, stand down. We got this. Your eyes will, at any rate. Back to the devil. Listen, people. The devil is, I had to agree with Father. Eventually, he is a formidable opponent. I didn't see that at first. I didn't see that. I seen him at something. Yeah, I can deal with this here in short order. Give me the address, give me the phone number and the picture. You give me the file, and you keep them other people off my ass. That's all you got to do. But then I had to step back and look. I had to look. And what I seen is a world infiltrated. And I gave it a name. It reminded me of a movie. The Matrix. The Matrix. There's a good comparison there. But here is a creature, an angel. I'm sorry, Mr. Devil, the bliss, the fallen one. Anyway, he gets angry easy. He always mad, but his level of anger is a whole different thing. He'll make hell even hotter than it is. He'll just take it out on shit. Trust me. Whew. And if you knew the things that they do there, it's not just fire. No. Anyway, here's the devil, man. He hates you. He hates you, first and foremost. So he had no problem putting you in the middle of this. He did that. He did that. Not only has he done that, he has decided that, like most cowards would, and this is strictly, I can't even put this on human behavior. And if I could, it's a learned behavior. This idea that then I will take them with me. If I'm going to die, then I will take them with me. That is so low. It's beyond angelic understanding. And I put this on, he spent too much time hanging around man, but that's not the case. No, this is an angelic, corrupted thought corrupted by his own shadow, his own darkness. At any rate, at any rate, even when it comes to lying, God calls him the great deceiver. But why is he the great deceiver? It's not because he's a good liar. It's because he knows you. He's outlived you, and he's seen generation after generation of you come and go and come and go repetitiously. So therefore, he knows how to manipulate the environment around you, starting with your suffering and ending with your parents. You get it now. You get it. I mean, he is a highly detailed individual, turns out. He didn't leave anything up to chance. We've had to do some things here because he thought of everything. And on a human level, he did. But on an angelic level, no, you left some gaps there. I think I can squeeze, what's that, an inch between your armor around the shoulder? Yeah, I can squeeze around or through there if I'm good enough. At least at 100 yards and a good scope. Damn your armor. If you move your arm in the right direction, then there's a bullet in your armpit. I warned you. Now look at you. You're not so anyway. He's formidable. He's also formidable again, not because he's powerful, not because he's magical, not because he's mystical, but because he's old. He's formidable because he's old and knows everything, knows you better than the back of his hand. He got a whole system built on understanding and manipulating you decade after decade after decade after decade. And I only got 7 minutes left. Okay? Now, here's another thing that makes them formidable and dangerous to you. And you're not even really in this fight. We trying to save you, or we so trying to save you. We want you to get off the battlefield, but you can't. There's nowhere for you to go. At this point, we would like only the most diehard of evil people blasting out their evilness as far as the ear can hear in pride and arrogance. That's what we would like to see, but that's not what we're going to see. But back to what I was saying, the devil and his formidable nature. He's formidable and he's dangerous because of desperation. He understands that no matter what he does, how he does it, who he harms, when he harms, it does not matter. Nothing that he does will stop the end. And the end is he no longer exists. And for all practical purposes, he no longer dead. That is the end of him. He no longer even did exist because every human left alive, and there's that word again, human. I prefer man and mankind. When I say man, definitionally, I mean man and women and their offspring. That's a little more respectful. Trust me. Trust me. The word human is very, as far as we're concerned, is disrespectful. We don't understand the term. We understand it in terms of human, mean a man of different colors. Maybe that's what they meant. Human. But anyway, he is formidable because he's going to die. Period. End of discussion. There's nothing he can do. There is something he can do. At least I think. And I've spent a many of night thinking about how can we get out of this? How can we get you out of your situation, Mr. Devil? Because this idea of inevitability has to be just north of stressful. I mean, this is past anger into an area of inevitability and his understanding of what that means. So understand he will throw everything at you, including the kitchen sink and the baby. I mean, and the bathtub with the baby in it. Everything. There's absolutely, positively nothing that he will not do. And human nature would dictate, he won't like this at all, but human nature would dictate the same reaction out of you if you have any kind of will to live. You're gonna fight your ass off. Well, sorry, Mr. Dove. He don't like me using you and him in like the same statement. He still thinks of himself as separate from you, even though he's taken on one of you or reflection the other. I got confused a long time ago. Who is in charge? Now we know he's in charge. But is he really? Is he really? He can't micromanage this shit. He can't micromanage it. It has to be a feeling of sheer desperation. Okay? He's And with that desperation, he will harm you. He will use you. He will deceive you. And in the midst of this, do you know he actually have a system of paying his troops off? I would never have that. Motherfucker, you dead. You do what I say do. What the hell is wrong with you? I didn't come where you at. You came where I at. Whew. I mean, and now you want benefits. This is weird. I mean, but at any rate, folks, listen, he'll do anything. Okay? He'll do anything. And by proxy, those who he controls will also do anything. You ought to think of them as their eyes, hands, fingers, their toes, nostrils, ears. 'Cause that's what they are. At the end of the day, that's what they are. And wow, I mean, he has built a system to try to micromanage it all the while knowing God loading up every tube, every weapon at his disposal, knowing that if he makes one wrong move, he could jumpstart the situation. He knows this. One wrong move and he could jumpstart it. It could be instant Armageddon, instant fucking apocalypse. Man, he's well, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna sit back and admire this dance that he does by himself. He's dancing alone. And I mean it's beautiful. Oh shit. I mean, and he's making all this work. But at some point, with the enemies at the gate and the enemies are at the gate, he hears the enemies now. And he can't stop their voice either. It's one of the techniques that's been used before. I mean, in the terms of scripture, you know, this idea of using sound anyway. There's a point in the Bible where the Israelites face this army. And this army is big. I mean, it's double their size. And so they would back to God and say, we don't know how we're going to do this here. They armored, and that fresh water to boot. I don't know how we're going to do this here. And God had a plan. God had a plan. God had a certain number of his men, of their men, get on horseback and just ride around a certain part of the valley. And it made it sound like it was many of them because the sound was echoing off of the walls of the valley. And it scared the enemy away. They felt like they were outnumbered. We ain't even going to look at that shit. They everywhere. Anyway, we use the sound. And remember, man, if you ought to be hurt, they're going to hurt you. And remember this. So this is very important. This is why I don't really love anything. I'm gonna let you in on something. Okay. I learned, and don't put this in your life. Okay. I don't want you to do that. I want you to take another lesson from it because I want you to love. But I learned that every time I loved something, that was pain. Either it died or it was harmed. Okay. So the lesson was clear to me. The devil doesn't care about anything that you don't care about. If you care about it, then it will be used against you. So again, the lesson became clear to me. Don't love anything. And that gives the devil, he had to take another option. Now, that is a bad analysis, bad in terms of how it looks, but it is the truth. Anything that you love, the devil will hurt, the devil will harm, or he will use. Understand this. It bears repeating. Anything you love will be hurt or used against you. I am Source.